Why does even the most beautiful pair of shoes so often end up collecting dust in the closet, while sneakers win again and again? Spoiler alert, it's not just about fashion. Let me explain in plain English. When we talk about comfortable shoes, many people still picture something basic, boring, and strictly for emergencies. Stylish means uncomfortable. Comfortable means no chance of looking good. And this is where it gets interesting. That stereotype is long outdated, yet for some reason it's still living in our closets. The truth is, comfort today isn't a compromise, it's the new standard. Fashion has changed a lot. Designers have finally remembered that people don't just stand around looking pretty. They walk, run, live. And if shoes don't fit real life, they lose no matter how impressive they look in a display window. Think about it. How many times have you bought a special occasion pair that looked amazing but turned into a silent enemy after an hour? That's exactly why so many beautiful shoes stay at home, while the tried and true pairs go out again. And no, it's not laziness or lack of taste, it's common sense. It's important to understand one simple thing. Comfortable shoes don't have to be sporty, and they're definitely not grandma shoes. Comfort comes from several factors: fit, materials, stability, cushioning. When all of that works together, shoes can look stylish, polished, and modern without sacrificing how they feel. That's also why versatile styles are so popular today, the kind of shoes you can wear for a walk, for errands, and even with a more put-together outfit. They don't scream for attention, but they do the most important thing. They don't get in the way of your life, and let's be honest, that's already a sign of good taste. There's another point people rarely talk about. Comfortable shoes affect more than just your feet, they shape the overall impression you make. When you're comfortable, it shows. Your walk becomes more confident, your movements freer, your mood better. And no heel can replace the feeling of walking easily without thinking about every step. This brings us to the key conclusion. Choosing comfort doesn't mean giving up on fashion. It means choosing yourself, especially now when there are more options than ever: shoes that look current, work with different styles, and don't require heroics from your feet. Now that we've figured out why comfortable shoes are no longer a boring compromise, but part of a stylish everyday wardrobe, it's time to get specific to the options that truly work day after day and are deservedly considered the most comfortable. If you ignore the pretty promises on the box and focus on real life, the list of favorites narrows quickly. There are a few types of shoes that prove again and again, yes, you can look good and still not count the minutes until you get home. Let's start with the clear leader of recent years: everyday sneakers and canvas shoes. Not athletic styles meant for the gym, but clean, streamlined pairs that work just as well with jeans, dresses, and even more polished outfits. Their biggest advantage is cushioning and foot support. Your feet get noticeably less tired, and the look has long gone beyond pure sportswear. That's why sneakers today aren't for a run, they're for life. Next come loafers and soft slip-ons. A real find for anyone who wants to look a bit more put together without sacrificing comfort: flexible soles, an easy fit, no wrestling with laces in the morning, perfect for the city, work, meetings, and any situation where you want to look neat without trying too hard. They seem to say, I made an effort, but I didn't overdo it. Ballet flats of the new generation deserve special mention. Forget the paper-thin soles where you feel every pebble. Modern versions are sturdier, more supportive, and far kinder to your feet. This is the rare case where shoes look feminine and light, but don't turn a walk into a test of endurance. In warm weather, sandals with a stable sole hold their ground, especially when they offer good foot support and a well-thought-out shape. These styles work for long walks, travel, and active days. They don't overload the outfit, let your feet breathe, and still look clean and modern. And of course, we can't skip boots and ankle boots with flat or stable soles. In cooler weather, comfort matters even more. Good support, a proper sole, and a comfortable last make all the difference. These styles fit easily into an everyday wardrobe and let you get through a full day without the urge to change shoes immediately. When you look at this list as a whole, it becomes clear. The most comfortable shoes aren't one specific style, but the right balance of shape, materials, and purpose. What all these options have in common is that they're designed for real wear, not just a pretty picture. That naturally raises a question. Why do some pairs from these categories become favorites while others end up disappointing? It all comes down to the details of how you choose. When it's time to buy shoes, many people follow a simple rule: I like them, I'll take them. Sometimes it works, but more often it leads to that pair that looks great on the shelf and rarely leaves the house. To avoid that, it's enough to pay attention to a few key points. The first and most important one is fit. Shoes shouldn't pinch with the hope they'll break in, or feel loose with the thought, I'll get used to it. A good pair feels comfortable right away. Yes, it might feel slightly snug, but without pressure or discomfort. If you already want to take them off in the store, that's a red flag. Next come the materials. The softer and more flexible they are, the easier it is on your feet. Leather, suede, and quality textiles adapt better to the shape of your foot and let the skin breathe. Synthetic materials vary, but if the shoe is stiff and doesn't bend, don't expect miracles. The sole is another key factor. It should be flexible, but not too thin. Ideally, it has a bit of spring and softens each step. If it feels like a plank or, on the other extreme, like a mushy sponge, comfort won't last long. Heels deserve a separate mention. Height itself isn't the enemy of comfort if the shape is stable. A low, wide heel or a platform distributes weight far better than a thin stiletto. For everyday shoes, stability always wins. Another often overlooked detail is weight. Heavy shoes may look solid, but in reality they get tiring fast. The lighter the pair, the less fatigue you feel, and the longer you're willing to stay on your feet. In the end, it becomes clear. Comfort isn't magic or luck, but the result of a few smart choices. When fit, materials, and sole work together, shoes stop being a problem and become part of your look. But even a perfectly chosen pair can look very different depending on what you wear it with and where you're going. This is where comfortable shoes really start to shine. The most common fear sounds like this. Sure, they're comfortable, but what do I wear them with? The good news is that comfortable shoes are far more versatile than they seem. It's all about proportions and the overall vibe, not strict rules. In everyday outfits, sneakers, slip-ons, and loafers pair perfectly with jeans, basic pants, t-shirts, and relaxed shirts. There's no need to overcomplicate things. The calmer the clothes, the more balanced the shoes look. The result is relaxed, but still pulled together. If you're in the mood for something feminine, comfort won't let you down either. Ballet flats, neat sandals, or soft loafers look great with dresses and skirts. The key is to watch the length and keep the silhouette light. When the outfit isn't overloaded with details, the shoes enhance the style instead of simplifying it. For city and work looks, styles with clean lines and minimal decoration work especially well. Loafers, minimalist sneakers, and boots with stable soles fit easily into more structured outfits and add a sense of confidence. In cooler seasons, boots and ankle boots pair effortlessly with jeans, tailored pants, and knit dresses. If the shoes are more chunky, let the rest of the outfit look visually lighter. That's how you keep the balance. Don't forget about mood. Comfortable shoes feel especially natural in modern, relaxed silhouettes. They highlight confidence and that sense of, I feel good in what I'm wearing. And that always shows. Now for the final touch. Even knowing all the rules, many people keep making the same mistakes. The first is buying shoes for the future, on sale for a hypothetical outfit or with the hope that they'll come in handy someday. Most of the time, that pair just keeps waiting its turn. The second mistake is ignoring your real lifestyle. A beautiful pair for rare occasions may be completely wrong for your everyday routine. If you walk a lot and stay active, your shoes need to be ready for that too. The third is rushing the try-on. You slip them on, take a couple of steps, and decide they're fine. It's better to spend an extra 5 minutes, walk around, stand still, listen to how they feel. Shoes rarely magically break in. A few simple tips that actually work. If you're choosing between two sizes, pick the one that gives your foot more room. If the shoes feel heavy in your hands, they won't feel lighter on your feet. And if they already demand heroism in the store, no miracle will happen at home. A good guideline is versatility. The more situations you can imagine wearing one pair in, the higher the chance it'll become a favorite. Comfortable shoes should fit into your life, not require a special scenario built around them. In the end, it all comes down to a simple conclusion. Comfortable shoes aren't a rejection of style, they're a form of self-respect. When you choose what truly feels good, your appearance only benefits. You move more freely, feel more confident, and stop thinking about what you're wearing. So next time you're choosing a new pair, ask yourself just one question. Am I ready to spend the whole day in these? If the answer is yes, you're on the right track.